Hi besties, I think you'll probably agree with me when I say K-pop stans have become more insufferable lately, so I thought of some opinions that I think these stans should really hear because they low-key need a reality check. None of these opinions are necessarily offensive, but some of them might still rub you the wrong way, but of course you don't have to agree with me, so if you disagree please feel free to share your opinion as well. I guess you don't need me to make any more disclaimers, so let's just start. I've seen more people claiming there's a Stacey hate train than I've seen people actually hating on Stacey. As a Stacey stan I'm genuinely confused. What do you even mean people are attacking Stacey? The only thing I've seen is people saying their music has deteriorated or that they didn't enjoy their latest comebacks. That's literally it. How can you even call it hate? It's so normal for people to have negative opinions on songs and people are just expressing their disliking towards Stacey's recent musical direction. I genuinely don't understand this need to victimize Stacey like y'all are doing, claiming there's a hate train targeting the group. Y'all are literally ridiculous. Stop turning simple negative opinions about their songs into something as serious as a hate train. There are many groups out there that literally have hate campaigns going on against them and you wanna tell me Stacey are hated? All of the members are genuinely well liked by people. Nobody has anything against the girls, and thank God. I'm genuinely so glad that they are being treated positively by K-pop stans. And I know some people have said that they think Stacey has a weak vocal line, but come on, that is not hate. Every group gets criticized for their skills at least once in their career, and if you consider that a hate train then I guess every group has a hate train against them. Nobody hates Stacey. Some people are just not liking their music or their vocals. That's it. Stop being overdramatic. Not everyone who stands fourth-gen girl groups is bandwagon standing them and will move on to the next shiny thing as quickly as you say. You'll make it seem as if these groups don't have big-ass fandoms and it's honestly kinda funny. You're right. Fourth-gen is filled with many girl groups and some of them lose a bit of hype once in a while. But you all talk about it as if they fell off and were left with no fans because everybody moved on to the next group. Like yes, bandwagon standing exists and it affects girl groups the most. But the groups you all always talk about actually have solid fandoms. You always love to use Stacey as an example. Yes, they did lose a bit of popularity with the general public but they have a decent fandom considering they're from a small company. Other groups like aespa, IVE, Idol, ITZY, New Jeans and LE SSERAFIM have pretty big fandoms and it's not like everybody moved on to the next shiny thing like y'all claim. It is normal for some groups to be particularly talked about at a certain time and for someone else to become the next most talked about group at another time, but that doesn't mean people dropped the groups they were standing before. ITZY wouldn't have been able to have a world tour if they had a small fandom. Another example is IVE. They sold 72,000 tickets for their fan concerts, and that was for Japan alone without counting the tickets they sold for the Korean dates. Groups that you claim fell off actually have a huge following too. Just look at aespa. Their fandom is massive. As of right now, New Jeans and IVE are the most talked about fourth-gen groups. But who knows, maybe in a few months some other girl group will be talked about even more. But that won't necessarily mean New Jeans and IVE will lose fans. You know people can be multi-fandom, right? Token standing is a thing. But stop using very popular groups as an example because that just doesn't make sense. If I point out how stans attack an idol for doing something while excusing another idol for doing the same, it doesn't mean I want you to send hate to the other idol too. I think it should be obvious but somehow K-pop stans never understand. Let's say something happens and your faves receive hate, but then you see there is another idol who did the same and people had no problem with that, and then you point out the double standards. That doesn't mean you want people to go and hate that other idol too just cause your faves got hated on. It simply means you are calling out people who are being biased and are excusing certain idols while attacking others for doing the exact same things. So pointing out double standards doesn't mean you wish people hated both idols. It seems like an obvious thing to say but there are so many stans that say things like, oh so you want this idol to also get hate? Like bitch no, I'm just pointing out how you are being hypocritical so there's no need to get so defensive and think I'm instigating people to also go shit on that other idol. That's such a childish way to react and it also means you completely missed the point. Stop bringing up someone's fandom whenever they express their opinion about your faves. Sometimes a stan might express their opinion about a group and fans of that group say things like, as expected from an army, or no wonder an XOL would say this. Like I understand that some fandoms have beef with each other and it's common for them to hate on each other's faves, but sometimes that person just has an opinion and the fandom they come from has nothing to do with the fact they have that opinion. For example, If I told somebody I don't like their faves music and they said, "Of course you would say this considering who you stan," that would make no sense because the fact I don't like someone's music is my personal taste and it's not some kinda hate campaign fueled by my fandom against your faves. What I'm trying to say is that I can have whatever opinion on your faves regardless of the fandoms I'm a part of. As long as you keep it respectful, you should be free to state your opinions without people looking through your stan list and think you have some kinda hate agenda against their faves. Anybody can have an opinion regardless of the fandoms they're part of. If you genuinely think streams, sales, awards and charting don't matter, you're just deluding yourself. I'm sorry, but imagine saying it doesn't matter if a group sells 1,000 albums or 1,000,000 albums. Imagine saying it makes no difference if a group charts in the top 100 or the top 5. Like, I'm sorry, but it really does make a big difference. Groups can survive even if they don't chart well, but in the case they have to at least sell well then. That's why groups that disband prematurely are always groups that don't have neither physicals nor digitals and have no recognition. You'll never see a group with good sales, good digitals and many views disbanding out of the blue, unless a big scandal happens or something like that. Also, imagine training for years and seeing that your music video can barely reach 1 million views. We have to keep in mind that it also affects idols emotionally and mentally. Idols want to win on music shows. They want to see their videos having high views. They want to sell a lot of albums. And if you think that doesn't matter to them, then you're just deluding yourself. Your favorite group could honestly disband at any time if they don't get enough recognition and their sales are low. But some of you are out there really saying that streams, charting and sales don't matter. You know, your idols might have to wait for years before getting their first paycheck if they sell so little. And I'm sure your faves also think about making money, and that's also important to them. It would be nice if everything was only about music, but it's not. And that's because real people are involved in this. Real people that need money to survive in the industry. Real people that have worked hard and want to see their work paying off. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but streams, sales, awards and charting do matter. There's actually no way some of you are so invested in groups you supposedly dislike. I say supposedly because some people's behavior genuinely has me questioning if they're actually stans of those groups, but you all just don't want to admit it. We all have the right to comment on the things we don't like about a certain group, but some people are centering their whole existence around throwing hate to certain artists, which is embarrassing. I swear sometimes those haters keep up with the group more than the actual fans of that group, and it's so funny if you think about it. I don't know about you, but I personally find it very hard to keep up with too many groups, and I literally don't have the time to do that. So my question is, where the hell do y'all find the time to be so invested in someone you hate? Like, I'm genuinely curious. It ain't a stretch to say haters are literally jobless because I barely have time to focus on groups I like, let alone groups I despise. Y'all gotta give groups time and stop being impatient. I'm tired of people going like, this group is gonna be 4th gen leaders, and the group in question hasn't even been around for a year. Or another example is when a new group is about to debut and the members do some pre-debut covers and y'all go like, this members is literally the best vocalist in 4th gen, but they legit haven't even debuted and you heard them singing for 30 seconds. Can you guys chill? Give groups time. Let them debut first. Let them at least have a couple comebacks and then you can judge. Y'all are so desperate for a new 4th gen leader or for a new best rapper, best dancer, best singer. But the truth is that you can't judge so early and only time will tell. And that was my last opinion for this video. Whether you agreed or disagreed with what I had to say, please share your thoughts in the comments if you'd like. With that being said, I really hope you enjoyed. Bye guys.